today's session is going to be a really gentle yoga class. This is perfect for you if you just don't want to push yourself, if you want to take it easy. Maybe if you're recovering from a cold, flu, some other injury or infection. This is my first session after recovering from COVID, or whilst at the end of COVID. So really gentle. We're going to be using all the props to make it as accessible and easy to us as possible. So you can get one or two cushions just for the start when we sit. Have yoga blocks ready also for our practice in general, but they're really good as well if you ever want to exercise but you're a bit sniffly and going into forward folds. It's like there's a bit of pressure on your sinuses. You can just place those under your hands instead of going to the floor like that, and that actually makes it a bit more pleasant when you're a bit congested. If you don't have two blocks, you could just use a stool for that as well, just like that. And also the other day on Instagram I saw this really cool alternative to blocks of using kitchen paper, because they're pretty much the same level and they're pretty sturdy if they're not too used, I guess. So that's a really good alternative as well. We will be using a yoga belt as well. If you don't have a belt, the belt of bathrobe or a towel or a scarf work really well. As always, if there's any poses where you feel pain, please come out of that pose. Don't hurt yourself. If at any point it gets too much, you can always come to child's pose, to standing. Just be gentle with yourself, enjoy it, and get that little bit of movement into your day if you want. I hope you enjoy it. And starting seated, if you feel that that's just nice, easy cross-legged, that's a bit much for your hips right now because you maybe haven't moved in a while or whatever, just use either one or two of your cushions, place them under your seat just to sit on, or you could even use one of your blocks, but that might get a little bit hard after a while. And today we're going to be starting and obviously sitting as we are now, and we're going to do quite a short part of our practice standing, so it's quite nice sometimes. So just get to a comfortable seated position, sitting on your cushion or your block, hands on your knees, palms facing up, and if you can, if you're not too congested or whatever, breathing in and out through the nose and staying with that breath. In and out. Maybe take a really nice deep inhale first, as deep and as fully as you can. And then maybe exhale through the mouth, last time for our practice, maybe even with a sigh. If you want, you can close your eyes here. As we come to an inhale and exhale through the nose if we can. Our shoulders are pulling away from the ears, maybe shoulder blades slightly together. By doing that, having that engagement, we're opening our chest a teeny tiny bit. Trying to sit so that our shoulders are above our hips, that we're not leaning forward or leaning back. Nice straight spine. We don't want to round too much in the spine. We're engaging. We're sitting, but we're active. So not rounded in the back, but nice and tall. And as we breathe here, let's connect with our body. Let's maybe scan through, starting at the crown of the head, the top of the head, just moving through. For fuck's sake, sorry. Sorry, give me a second. Actually, Ben's doing it. Okay. Really sorry about this. I don't know what's happening today. Alright, let's try and ignore the door. Getting back, breathing in and out through the nose and doing that body scan. So just connecting to ourselves. Going from the top of the head, just going past the face, and as you scan through, notice if there's any tension at any point, and then try and release that tension. So getting to your forehead and your eyes, try and relax those muscles. Relax the muscles around your nose, around your jaw. Teeth are slightly separated and the tongue is lining the mouth. Maybe the tip of the tongue slightly against the roof of your mouth, but not pressing against it. Now we're getting to our shoulders and our neck, shoulders away from the ears. Getting to our chest, nice and open chest. Scanning down our abdomen, back. We don't want to suck in our abdomen, no one's looking. Just leave it out, relax your tummy. So important, just by, if we're sort of like always pulling it in, we're not breathing deeply enough. It's not very good for our breath and for our well-being, even though we all know why, and we often tend to suck it in. I guess that's physically and emotionally. Getting to your hips, noticing what they feel like. They're very tight. Are they loose? Getting to your thighs, knees, calves and feet. Just breathing here. Enjoying that we've slowed down. If you want, you can set an intention for your practice. If you want to do something with today, just maybe you want to be more present, more calm throughout the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend. There's no pressure. Make it short and positive. Don't be hard on yourself. Take a few more quiet breaths in your own rhythm here. And at the end of the next exhale, gently open your eyes. Right, sorry about the door. Okay, let's start waking our body up a little bit and moving a bit. So we're doing the mobilization that we often do when we're starting seated, and then I'm going to add a little bit more to it. So we're going to start with our side stretch. So we're bringing our left hand next to our left glute or hip, just sort of 10 fingers, just the fingertips resting on the floor. We're going to inhale our right arm up and exhale, reach over. And just gently, you can now maybe bring the palm of your hand to the floor for extra support. Inhale, exhale. Be looking to the hand if that feels okay on your neck. Inhale, exhale, we're pushing into the left hand, we're coming up. Right hand now next to our right hips. And inhale, left arm up. Exhale, reaching over. Again, maybe the palm of the hand comes down. Inhale, lengthening a bit more. And exhale, pushing into the hand. Same thing, other side, left hand down, right hand reaching over. Inhale. Maybe you can reach that, bring that left hand a bit further away from you, forearm almost to the floor, but it's early, so don't push yourself too hard. Inhale and exhale, pushing into the left hand, coming over the other side. That's inhale and reaching that left hand over. Again, maybe walking that right hand a bit further away if you find that comfortable. And as you bend the right elbow, make sure that both sit bones stay connected to your cushion or floor. Don't lift them up. You want to stay connected. Inhale and exhale, pushing into the right hand, other side one more time. Reaching the right arm over. Feeling that stretch in the right side body, almost going into the hip, and the contraction in the left side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, maybe stretching the right arm a little more. Exhale. Last inhale here. And exhale, pushing into the left hand, coming up, other side. Last one, reaching the left arm over. Inhale. Exhale. Again, feeling what it does to your body, the stretch. The left side long, the right side contracted. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, sinking. Last inhale here. And exhale, pushing into the right hand and coming to center. We're going to do our twist. So for that, we're bringing our right hand on our left knee. Left hand behind us on the glute, behind the glutes. Might be on your cushion if you're sitting on one. And inhale, we're stretching up. And exhale, we're pulling us by the shoulder and the hip. The gaze, your viewpoint, your focus point is sort of following. You're not looking over your shoulder. That puts strain on your neck. The head is just following. Inhale and exhale, we're coming out. Other side. Left hand, right knee. Right hand behind us. Inhale, we're stretching up, and exhale, we're twisting here. And again, we're twisting from the shoulder and the waist, not from the neck. Inhale and exhale, we're coming through center again. Other side, so right hand, left knee, left hand behind us. Inhale and exhale, we're twisting. Feeling how we have to engage the muscles in our back, in our upper back, to get that. Inhale and exhale, we're coming through center. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind us. Inhale, stretching up, sitting tall. And on the exhale, we twist. Again, feeling the back muscles on the right side now working. And you can pull a little bit with that left hand on the right knee, very gently. Inhale and exhale. We're just switching over, right hand, left knee, left hand behind us. Inhale, sitting tall, exhale, twisting. Really nice. Staying a bit longer. Inhale, with every inhale we're stretching, we're sitting tall again. And every exhale, maybe twisting just the tiniest bit more. You don't have to twist more, but you can if you want. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, now stay where you are. Exhale, we're coming through center, other side. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind us. Inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, twist. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, twisting. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe twisting a teeny tiny bit more. Inhale, stay where you are. And exhale, we're coming through center. Lovely. We're now going to do a little forward fold. So we're sitting cross-legged as we are, so leave your feet as they are, and we're just going to walk our hands out in front of us. Very gently. Don't go too far, it's very early. You can have your hands shoulder width apart, look at the space between your thumbs. If you want, you can try to bring your forearms to the mat, but you don't have to. And just looking to the ground. Don't think about bringing your forehead to the floor. That is not the point of it. We're waking up our hips. Breathing here. If you're realizing, oh, this is a bit much on my hips, just bring your hands a bit closer to you. Inhale. And exhale, pushing into your hands, lifting your forearms off the floor if they were down, and gently move your hands, walk your hands back towards you. We're now going to switch our feet over. So the foot that was on top and cross-legged is now at the bottom. We're going to do the same thing again. So hands are in front of us, and we're gently, gently walking our hands out. Lovely. Again, hands about shoulder width apart. We're looking at the space between our thumbs. If you're finding this too intense, just come onto your hands, maybe walk them back a little bit. It's just a warm-up. We're not punishing ourselves. We're working within what we want and can do today. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're pushing into our hands. Exhale, we're gently walking our hands towards us. Okay, great. So that was the first part of our mobilization. We're going to start, we're going to do a few other bits now that we normally don't do when we first start our practice. Here, a yoga belt might be quite helpful. And what we're going to do is, I really like this as a warm-up for my hamstrings. So we're going to sit as if you're cross-legged. The right leg is on top. Well, not as if you're cross-legged. Sit cross-legged, sorry. Right leg is on top. And we're now going to bring the right foot out in front of us on the mat and bring our hands around. Or if you find that difficult, you can use your belt. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift the right foot off. You can continue to sit on your cushion or on a block. And we're going to bend and straighten. And we're going to try and have that thigh quite close to our abdomen. And we're also going to try not to round in our back, but continue to sit nice and tall. If this is all the stretch you can get in your leg, if you can't get it properly straight, that's totally fine. And what you can also do, if you find that really difficult, as I said, use a belt, increase the length of your arms, and that makes it a lot more comfortable. Great. Okay, so we're going to do that. Let's do 3 together. Stretch and bend. Obviously be very careful with your knee. Maybe don't lock the knee, but keep a little bend in. And 1 more. And now we're going to keep the left hand around the right foot and grab the outside of the right foot, bring it out in front of us, like so. So the leg is in front of us. And we can hold the knee or bring the knee into the bend of the right arm, and just we'll rock it here for 3. Imagine you're holding a baby and you're rocking a baby. And 1 more, very slowly, very gently. So you can tell how that is waking up our hips. It's quite similar to pigeon. We're going to go back to the foot in both hands and straightening and bending it. We're going to do that again for 3, very gently, very slowly. You can feel your thigh working here already. And now we're going to do the same thing again. So holding the right foot, the outside of the right foot in the left hand, and bringing the right knee and the right hand or the right, in the inside of the right elbow, and rocking here very gently again. 1 more. I'm going to do the same thing 1 more time, both. So holding the foot in both hands or in your belt, going to kick it straight, bring it in, kick it out, bring it in. I quite like this one. Kick it out, bring it in. Now grabbing the outside of the right foot with the left hand, and again, gently rocking here. This is quite a nice one if you don't want to do pigeon on the floor, but you still want to slightly more dynamically wake up your hips. Okay, let's bring that right foot down to the floor. We're doing the same thing on the other side. You can also feel your back muscles working, because obviously we have to try and keep ourselves sitting upright. So, sitting cross-legged with the right foot or leg at the bottom, The left foot is going out in front of us. We're putting it either in both our hands or in that belt, and we're going to straighten it and bend it. Straighten it and bend it. Straighten it and bend it. And as you bend it, grab the outside of the left foot with the right hand, either holding the left knee in the left hand or in that crook of your elbow, and just gently rocking here. 2 and 3, and now bringing it back in the middle, holding the foot in both hands or in your belt. Going to straighten it and bend it. Straighten it and bend it. Last one, straighten and bend. Now grabbing the outside of the left foot again with the right hand and rocking the foot gently here, cradling our baby. And let's do one more. And one more of each of those. So again, holding the left foot in the hands or with our belt, straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Trying to sit up nice and tall. Straighten and bend, and then bring the outside of the left foot into the right hand and cradling the baby. One more, and we're letting go. Really nice. We're going to do 2 more poses here. We're going to start with fire lock pose. So for that, we're going to stack. You can still sit on your cushion, no problem at all. I am. We're going to try and bring the left legs at the bottom. The shin is parallel to the short edge of your mat, or as parallel as you can get it. And the right leg is on top. We're trying to stack our shins on top of each other. The right foot is on top of the left knee. If you're finding that really uncomfortable, you can move that right foot down the calf. If there's a big gap between your right knee and the left foot on the floor, you can get a block or a cushion and place that in between. And we're just going to be sitting here like this now, because I'm not sure about you, but I'm already feeling quite an intense stretch in my right glute and hip. And it's early, we don't want to do too much. And just sit here for, let's say, 3 breaths. You can, if you want, close your eyes. And just breathe gently. If you closed your eyes, let's open them at the end of the next exhale. Lovely. If you had your block, take that out and put it to the side. We're now going to bring the right foot on the outside of the left knee, and we're just going to hug that knee into us. Again, really gently. You can bring that foot a bit closer, the left foot a bit closer, and just have like a really small little twist here, just looking over your shoulder. Again, breathing here. This is again quite intense early on. Inhale and exhale, coming out of the twist. Releasing that foot. We're now doing the same thing on the other side. So now our right leg is at the bottom, shin parallel, or as parallel as we can get it or want it, to the short edge of our mat, or the long edge of our mat, depending how you're sitting. It's just quite a nice way of thinking about how your legs have to be. Left foot is on the knee or on the calf. If there's a big gap between your knee and your foot, place that block there. And we're just sitting here. And again, if you want, closing your eyes, maybe palms in your lap. And just feeling the stretch in your left hip now. Inhale, if you closed your eyes at the end of the exhale, open your eyes. Lovely. Move the block if you have one. Place the left foot outside the right knee. If you find that uncomfortable or unachievable, just place it in between your, just sort of in the middle of you and twist like that, or twist with the foot on the outside of the right thigh. Yeah, so you could have it on the inside of the thigh as well. And just twist, look over your shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, kind of looking into center. Releasing that leg foot. So maybe have our legs out in front of us and just wiggle our legs, kicking them, bending the knees, just releasing that pressure a little bit from that stretch. Okay, if you were sitting on a cushion, move that to the side. If you use a block, move that to the side as well. And from here, we're going to come into tabletop. We're going to wake up our spine a little bit with a few cat-cows. So for that, our hands are under our shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, knees under our hips, toes pointing back. And we're going to inhale, arching the spine, looking up, making a C curve with the spine. Exhale, we're rounding our spine, chin to chest, pelvis also pulling in, making C the other way around. Inhale, arching the spine, looking to the ceiling, maybe bending those elbows a little bit. I quite like that. Exhale, pushing the ground away with your hands, pushing the shoulder blades apart, chin to chest, rounding, rounding, rounding. Inhale, arching, cow, shoulder blades together here. Exhale, angry cat, look it towards your belly button. Two more either way. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, last cow. Really nice. Exhale, last cat. And at the end of the exhale, we're coming back to our neutral spine. We're going to tuck our toes, and just to activate our core muscles, our abdomen a little bit, lift your knees off the floor but staying in tabletop. So your knees are about 5 centimeters, an inch off the ground, and we're just holding here. Really nice. If you don't like this, just bring your knees to the ground but really pushing into the floor. You're still activating similar muscles. Holding for another 1, 2, and 3. Knees down, and tucking the toes, brief child's pose. Just releasing the pressure also in the shoulders here. Okay, coming back into our tabletop. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees again, just for 3, 2, 1, and now we're pushing back. As we're pushing back into the hands, heels are coming closer to the floor, and we're straightening our legs and coming into a down dog. Pushing into your hands. If you don't want to do down dog, you can just stay in a tabletop. Hands in tabletop and down dog are the same. Hands are shoulder width apart, index fingers are pointing forward. And we're pushing into the whole hands. The weight is not just in the ball of the hand, but also in the palm, where the fingers meet the palm, the knuckles of the fingers. Shoulders are away from the ears, shoulder blades pulling slightly apart. Nice flat back. Maybe engaging your lower abdomen a little bit, sucking that abdomen in. Not sucking in your belly, but just engaging the abs. Flat back. If that means that you need to bend your knees and down dog, that is totally fine. But even with bent knees, pull your heels towards the mat. We're not doing that because you want our heels to touch the mat. We're doing that
because we want to activate our calf muscles, and that's the best way of doing it. Maybe you're finding down dog a bit easier right now because we've already woken up our hamstrings. You could also walk your dog, so bending one knee, straightening the other, maybe the straight leg, the heel comes to the floor. Just do that a few times. If that feels good, coming into stillness, staying here for one moment. Looking towards the space between your toes. If you're in down dog, toes pointing forward, toes, feet parallel to each other. And let's gently walk forward now. One foot after the other until the feet are behind the hands. And let's just hang here. Inhale, bending the knees. Exhale so that our chest is in touch with our thighs. And let's gently, gently, gently roll up to standing. Chin is the last thing that lifts off the chest. Wonderful. Well done.
Alright, well, a slightly longer floor warm-up than we normally do. I hope that was still nice. We are coming to our standing sequence. So if you want to use, if you've realized that you don't really want to have your hands to the floor today in your standing forward folds, bring your blocks shoulder width apart at the front of your mat. Or if you don't have blocks, your stool, your chair, or your kitchen paper roll. And we're going to stand. And first we're going to do is, let me check what we're going to do actually. We're going to stand with our feet, feet together, toes touching, and let's lift our toes off the ground first, spreading them wide like a fan or feathers on a bird's wing, and then lowering them one at a time. Little toes, fourth toe, middle toe, second toe, big toe. Lifting the heels up as well if that feels good. Nice firm grounding. Rolling our shoulders up, back and down. Palms, by pulling our shoulder blades together, our palms are automatically facing forward. Just standing here in Tadasana for a moment. Okay, and we're going to place the left hand is against our thigh, palm touching the thigh, and we're going to go with our right arm around the back, and we're going to see if we can grab hold of the left upper arm, so holding on here. If you can't reach, you could use a belt, loop that around and hold it like this. Totally fine as well. And what we're going to do is, so you're holding your upper arm in the hand and standing, try not to arch your back by doing that, but standing nice and tall, nice flat back. And I want you to twist to the, pulling your right arm back so that your left arm back so that your chest sort of looking towards the left. But I want your hand to stay in touch with your thigh the entire time, the left hand. So don't slide and just pull your shoulder back like this, but twist your body rather. And just look over your shoulder, just really gentle twist. One more breath here. And we're coming out of this. Really gentle, really nice, look good guys. Other side, so now the right hand palm is against the thigh, just seeing if we can reach right upper arm with the left hand. Otherwise loop your belt as I just showed you, making sure that we don't have our little duck bum, but standing nice and flat. And inhale, and exhale, start twisting to your right, but twisting with your upper body, not just pulling your shoulder back and your arm back. Doesn't matter how much you do it, how much you twist, just a nice different way of moving your body. I haven't done this before, I think. And coming back into center, look really good. and maybe rolling the shoulders if that feels good. And we're going to do a little side stretch now as well, standing here. So we're going to cross the right foot in front of the left foot, stepping it over so that there's about a foot width between our feet. Both feet are pointing forward, and we're going to inhale our right arm up, left palm is against the thigh again, and exhale, we're sliding the left palm down the thigh, and we're reaching the right arm over to the left, looking really good. And feeling the stretch that goes from like your hip, your obliques, your side abdominal muscles, through your armpit. Inhale and exhale, release. Just a quick one. Stepping the right foot back to where it was. Stepping the left foot over. So your feet are pointing forward. Your hips are pointing forward as much as they can. Right palm against the right thigh. I'm going to inhale, left arm up. Right palm slides down. Side body stretch. Really nice. You can look to your left palm, or you can just look in front of you. Ooh. Try and have your weight equally between both feet. Inhale and exhale, we're coming out. Lovely, well done. Okay, so coming to the front of our mat, and we're going to start with our Sun Salutations. We're doing 2 Sun Salutations today, nice and slow and gentle. So, standing in front of a mat, getting into Tadasana again, maybe spreading our toes again, lowering them one at a time. Doing that, trying to get into a habit of doing that every time you get to the front of your mat. Inhale, exhale, standing. And inhale, we're reaching our arms up. Palms together or hands shoulder width apart as if you're holding a beach ball, maybe looking to the ceiling. Exhale, engaging the core, we're coming up. Bring your hands to the floor or on your blocks or chair or whatever you have. Exhale, full forward fold. So for that, you're going to either bring your forehead to the shins with your hands on the floor, knees bent, or hands on your blocks and just bending the elbows. Inhale, let's come into half forward fold. Again, flat back, hands on the floor or hands against the shins. And then exhale, hands down, and we're going to step back with the right foot. You can do that with your hands on your block or whatever as well. Bringing the knees down, the right knee down, and tucking the right toes. And we're in a low lunge. If you're working with your blocks, let go of the blocks now. I'm just coming into this low lunge, maybe bringing your hand on your right thigh. Try to keep your right knee above your ankle. If you're feeling that you're like, I can tell that I'm very much going beyond my knee and towards my toes, so you can bring your hands to the floor and maybe walk that. I just lift the right knee up, tuck the toes, and I just walk it back, pull it back. And you can see now that my knee is above my ankle, so that's a bit nicer. We're just staying here. Again, you can feel a stretch in both hips here, both hip flexors. We're just going to enjoy that as much as we can. The longer the distance between your back knee, the knee on the floor, and the front foot, the more intense this is going to be. So make your choice what you want to do, how you want to experience this. Okay, bring your hands to the floor, maybe walk that knee forward. Hands either side of the front foot, lifting the back knee, the right knee with tucked toes, stepping back into a plank. You could do that also on your blocks, but you don't have to. Inhale here and exhale, knees down. Chest down, chin down. You might have to move your blocks a little bit. And inhale, sliding into a cobra. Really small cobra here. Your lower ribs, your lowest ribs are still on the floor. Just lifting your chest, and that lift is coming from your back muscles, not by pushing into your hands. The hands have very little weight in them. You should be able to lift them off the floor and keep the same height in your cobra as you do with the hands on the floor. If you can't, then you can just come lower. It's totally fine. It's not a competition for whose cobra is higher or lower. You're working your back muscles even when you're low, and you're just working your own abilities.
Inhale. And exhale, we're tucking the toes. We're pushing into a child's pose for a second. And then lifting the knees off the ground into a downward dog. Maybe stepping the feet in a little bit if it feels a bit long. Breathing here for a few breaths. If you're finding this uncomfortable, if there's a lot of pressure on your sinuses, you could just come into a tabletop instead. And then tabletop really pushing the ground away. And just look into the space between your hands and tabletop, or in down dog, look into the space between your feet. Both options are great. We've done tabletop and down dog before, so just try and remember how we set this up. Okay, now we're going to step the right foot in between our hands again. You can either do that from down dog, or if you were in a tabletop, you could also do that from there. I'm coming into another low lunge, same thing we just did, but obviously now other side. And try to remember that your knee should ideally be above your ankle or further behind rather than towards your toes. And just staying here for a few breaths. Try not to sink into that front hip, but stay active in your right thigh. Like not a terrific flopping, like really active. You can look just at your hands, just the space, maybe 15 centimeters or so in front of your knee, your toes. Inhale and exhale. Let's bring our hands either side of the front foot, tucking the back toes, lifting the left knee, and stepping forward with the left foot into a forward fold. So for that, again, if you have your box, your kitchen paper ready, you can have that in front of you. For full forward fold, forehead towards the shins, bending the elbows if your hands are on your blocks, if your hands are on the floor, maybe bending the knees. Inhale, full forward fold, hands to shins, or hands on blocks with a flat back. One more full forward folds, bending the forearms, or bending at the elbows or the knees. And inhale, engaging our core, we're coming up to standing. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. We're going to do two, obviously on the left side, and then we're going to do the same thing again. So, inhale, arms up. Hands together or holding that beach ball. Exhale, folding down. Full forward fold. So for that, either hands on the blocks, elbows bent, or hands on the floor, knees slightly bent if you need to. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, or hands on blocks, looking down. And we're stepping back, exhale with the left foot, lowering the knee, tucking the toes. Coming into a low lunge again. And again, knees ideally above or slightly behind the ankles. So maybe walking your feet back a little bit, foot back a little bit, back foot. Really nice. As our hips are getting warmer, maybe these poses get a bit more pleasant. I think hip openings can really, they just feel really great, and I find that those are poses that they almost work better when you do it slowly than when you're going through a really quick practice where you don't spend much time in poses. Okay, let's bring hands either side of the right foot, tucking the left toes, lifting the knee, stepping back into a plank. If you don't like full plank, you could come onto your knees for half plank. Inhale and exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground. Moving your blocks forward again if you're using them. Inhale, sliding into your cobra. Again, your back is making the effort, not your hands. Inhale, exhale, pushing into the hands. Brief child's pose, tucking the toes, pushing into the feet, lifting the knees off the floor. Down dog. Maybe stepping the feet in a little bit. You can again come into your tabletop if you prefer that to down dog today. Breathing here, in down dog, pushing into the hands, index fingers pointing forward. The hands are the same as in tabletop. The whole hand is holding the weight. Down dog, shoulders pulling away from the ears, flat back, heels towards the mat. Inhale and exhale, we're stepping the left foot in between our hands, lowering the right knee and tucking the right toes, and we're coming back into our low lunge. Lovely. Breathing here. Again, trying to stick with inhale and exhale through the nose, if you can breathe through your nose, obviously, as we move through the practice. Okay, exhale, let's bring our hands either side of the left foot, tucking the right toes, lifting the right knee, stepping forward. Getting your blocks if you're using them. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, hands on our blocks, flat back. Exhale, full forward fold. Bending the elbows or bending the knees with the hands on the floor. Inhale, engaging the core, we're coming up nice flat back. And exhale, hands onto heart center. One more round. Nice and slow. Inhale, arms up, hands together, holding on each floor. Exhale, flat back, we're coming down. Full forward fold. Hands to floor, knees bent maybe, or hands on our blocks with the elbows bent. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins. Fingertips on the mat in line with your big toes if you want or can, or hands on your blocks. Exhale, stepping back with the right foot, lowering the knee and tucking the toes. Coming into a low lunge. Again, is your knee above the ankle? Correct yourself. Pay attention to your body. Get to know your body as well. Okay, hands to the floor, either side of the left foot, untucking the right toes, lifting the knees, stepping back into plank or half plank. Inhale and exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down, moving your blocks if you have them, and inhale, sliding into cobra. Working our back. Elbows are into the body, shoulder blades together, shoulders away from the ears. Really tight. Inhale. Exhale, brief child's pose, tucking the toes, pushing into the toes, lifting the knees, coming into a down dog or tabletop. Wherever we are, in down dog, maybe stepping our feet in a little bit. Maybe you also have to do that in tabletop in order for your knees to be under your hips and your shoulders to be over your hands. In tabletop and in down dog. Index fingers forward, pushing into the hands. Be active. In tabletop as well, if your toes are tucked, push into your toes, almost as if you were about to lift your knees off the floor. Both poses are very active. And stepping the right foot in between your hands again, and bringing the left knee down if you come from down dog, and tucking the left toes. And we're coming into our low lunge again. And again, looking at your knee, the front knee is moving forward too much. If low lunge ever gets too much on your back knee, you could always roll over your mat and get some extra cushioning if you feel that's a bit much. Or you could use one of your pillows that you've got. Hands either side of the right foot, tucking the left toes, lifting the knee, stepping forward. If you're using your blocks, get those next to your feet. Inhale, half forward fold. Hands on shins, fingertips to mat or hands on blocks. Exhale, full forward fold. Hands on the floor, forehead towards the shins or hands on blocks, elbows bent. And inhale, engaging the core, coming up with a flat back. Exhale, hands into heart center. Wonderful. Last Sun Salutation. And then a few more standing poses. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding down, choosing your full forward fold. Inhale, choosing your half forward fold. Exhale, stepping back with the left foot, lowering the left knee and tucking the toes. Coming into your low lunge. Again, looking at your knee, if it's moving beyond, towards your toes, forward beyond your ankle. Maybe push back with bringing that back foot back a little more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, hands either side of the front foot, tucking the left toes, lifting the left knee, stepping back into plank or half plank. Inhaling here, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down, and sliding forward into cobra. Inhale. Inhaling here, let's hold for the exhale, working our back muscles, and exhale, pushing into a brief child's pose. Tucking the toes in child pose, pushing into your toes, lifting the knees off the floor. Into a down dog or into a tabletop. Stepping the feet in a bit if you have to or want to. Breathing here. Inhale, stepping forward with the left foot in between the hands. Lowering the right knee and tucking the toes. Final low lunge. Breathing here. Again, if you want to walk that back knee further back a little bit for more of a stretch in the hip flexors. Lovely. Feels quite knightly, this pose, doesn't it? As if you're kneeling in front of the Queen and you've come back from some big adventure. Quite honourable, I suppose. Inhale, exhale, hands either side of the front foot, tucking the right toes, lifting the right knee, stepping forward. Inhale, half forward fold. Fingertips to mat, hands to shins or hands on blocks. Exhale, full forward fold. Last one. And inhale, engaging the core, we're coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. Well done, guys. A lot slower than we normally do, but also quite wonderful, I think. We're going to be doing 2 more poses standing, for which, if you want, you could use a chair, or I've got this thing. If you find standing a bit too much, again, that could be because you're ill or recovering from injury. We're going to be doing goddess pose. So for that, you would be sitting like this, wide-legged, still very active legs. And then we're going to come into, we're straightening our legs, and we're coming into a warrior 2. So that is how you would do it sitting. So we're sitting down for goddess, really nice. We're pushing the knees really out. Toes are, it's like second position or something in ballet, or like sort of, I guess, Charlie Chaplin feet. And arms, you can do Gyan Mudra, where you bring your index finger and thumb together, and really sitting like that. Or you can do that obviously standing. You can like do it like sort of flip, swish between. So you can just step out from the front of your mat, step out nice and wide, bending your knees. So you bend your knees, you want to make sure that they're not falling in your knees. You want to push, maybe place your hands on your knees and just pushing them out as you look down.
Just showing you from the side so you know what I mean. When I say fall in, I mean this. So that your knees are flopping and then push out. So you want to make yourself quite flat in the legs. If you've been watching figure skating in the Winter Olympics, they sometimes do that and they just slide over the ice, and I think it looks so cool. Okay, just stay here for one more breath. We've been doing this for quite a while. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, let's straighten those legs. And we're now going to point the left foot in. We're going to bring the heel closer to the end of the mat, and the toes are pointing in, pointing forward. The right toes are also pointing forward. We're coming into a warrior two. Arms up, flat chest, flat body. And if you were to sit, you would do the same thing. You would just sit on your chair, your stool thingy, but you still feel it actually, even when you're sitting. Arms are at shoulder level, looking towards the middle fingers of your front hand. Have a look at your back hand. Is that also at shoulder level? You want your body in the middle, so don't want to lean forward. You can imagine someone's pulling you forward, pulling you back, and at some point you find your middle. Okay, let's straighten that front leg. Bring your toes back in. And now toes pointing out. We're going to do another goddess pose here. So let's push that thing back. Woo. Again, pushing your knees out a little bit. Coming into your goddess, really feeling your inner thighs working. Tucking your pelvis a little bit as well. So as we're in our goddess, making sure working our balance as well, sorry. Making sure our knees are pushed out, but also not that we have like that duck bum, but pulling our pelvis in, nice and flat. Looking good, guys, really good. And now we're going to straighten our legs. We're going to bring our right toes in, heels towards the end of the mat, left toes pointing forward. That's always a bit not so great because I guess you won't be seeing me now. And we're going to come into a warrior two on the other side. Oh yeah, no, you do see me. Great. And again, maybe finding your middle, making sure both arms are at shoulder level. And here as well, you want your front knee not to go over your ankle, and you also want to push that, want to make sure that it doesn't fall in. It's right in the middle, you're really nice and flat. That's lovely warriors there. Okay, lower your arms, straighten the legs, bring your left toes back in. Now pointing them out a little bit again, one final goddess. So sitting down, pushing your knees out, really activating those inner thighs, tucking your pelvis, arms out. You could do another handshake, you could be in prayer. You could do like one breath in eagle arms one way, another breath in eagle arms the other way. Whatever feels good. Be here for 2 more breaths, just so you know. Okay, and inhale, straightening those legs, and let's just walk our feet together safely. Lovely, well done. Just moving that on, poof. For our balance, we'll be doing tree pose now. But we're standing with our feet firmly grounded. We're starting balancing on the left leg. So spreading our left toes nice and wide, lowering them one at a time, maybe lifting the heel, placing that down. And we're going to go in 3 stages. There's 3 options. You can place your toes, the right toes can remain on the floor, the heel pushing just above the left ankle. Lovely version for a gentle tree pose. Or you could bring the sole of your right foot against the inside of your left calf. Also really nice. If you want to go a bit further, you could, with the help of your right hand, bring the sole of your right foot against the inner thigh of the left, trying not to lose your balance. finding a spot on the floor wherever you are to focus on. The main thing here in tree pose, and there's very rarely a big no in yoga, is to not have your knee against your foot against your knee. Your knee is very gentle, so don't put it there. So commit to wherever you want to have your foot. There's not one that is better than the other. It's just different ways of balancing here. If your foot is on the floor, you could try close your eyes, challenge your balance a little more. You feel the swaying much more. We're staying for a few breaths. A point that helps with any balance is to find a spot to focus on, either on the floor in front of you, on the wall, but something that doesn't move. 2 more breaths here. And release. Doing the same thing on the other side, so let's spread our right toes wide, lift the heel, nice firm grounding. And again, you can start by having your left toes on the floor, left heel just above the right ankle. Wonderful balance. You could bring the sole of your left foot against the inner calf of the right, or with help of your left hand, bring the left sole of the left foot against the inner thigh of the right leg. Just decide what feels good, what you want to do today. Find that focus point, your drishti, to keep you balanced. Maybe closing the eyes. You can do that even when you've got the left foot not on the floor, but it will make it much, much harder. So open your eyes before you fall in like a tree in the woods. Yes, being like fallen, locked, you know what I mean. Staying here. Balances, take our focus inwards. And are a matter of practice, so don't worry if you wiggle. 1 more breath here. And let it go. And let's shake our legs out. Well done. We're going to come to the floor now. You could do that through vinyasa, or you could just bend your knees, come to onto your tiptoes, and just gently come down. Vinyasa is a bit more active, this is a bit more gentle, whatever you feel like. And we're going to do a couple of poses here on the floor before we have a quick relaxation. So let's do Paschimottanasana, classic yoga forward fold, so kind of always do that. Let's have our legs out in front of us. You can use your belt, bring it around the balls of the feet. Hold your belt or towel or whatever you have in both hands. Sitting up nice and tall here. Inhale and exhale, we're folding down. We're holding, maybe walking our hands down our belt. If you don't have a belt or you don't want to use it, hold your calves, your ankles, or your feet. Nice flat back though, you're hinging from your hip. You don't want to force yourself to reach your feet and round your upper spine. You're nice and flat in the back. Breathing here. Inhale, we're sitting up nice and tall, and exhale, we're sliding our hands back. And we're going to slide our feet back as well, feet together for cobbler pose, Baddha Konasana. So the closer your feet are to your groin, the more intense the stretch is on your hips. But you don't have to do too much at all. Also, if you want to go, if you feel like that, if you bring your feet super close to your groin and you feel nothing because you're super open in the hips, you could also bring a block between your feet. There is options to keep growing. I definitely don't need that today. I'm just going to sit here, hold onto your feet, fingers around the back of the feet, thumbs on the balls of the feet, opening your feet like the pages of a book. Okay, last breath here. We're sitting back a little bit, and let's take the outside of the right foot into the left hand, and we're doing that rocking the baby again. And our hips are a lot warmer now, just one now. And what you could see is if you can bring your right foot actually into the bend of your left arm, and you can hold opposite hands like that and bring your leg quite close to your chest. If you can't do that, it's totally fine to keep holding the foot in your hand and having either the knee into the bend of your elbow or just holding it in the hand. But this is and again, trying to sit as tall as you can here, not collapsing in your lower back. And just rocking here. I quite like this. I don't know why, it just feels really, I guess you're rocking yourself. It's quite soothing. I really like this. Okay, and let's let go. Let's bring the right foot outside the left knee. We're doing quite a few of the things that we did in our warm-up, and hugging the right knee in with the left elbow or the left arm. Sitting up tall here, twisting over. If you want a little more, what you could try is to see if you can bring the left upper arm outside the right knee, and see if you could maybe hold the outside edge, the little toe edge of your right foot for half Lord of the Fish. You don't have to do this at all. Perfectly fine to just sit like this. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to bring the left foot parallel in front of us. We're going to bring that right foot on the left knee, right knee above the left foot into our firelog pose. We're repeating, as you can see. And you can, if you still need your block in between your foot and the knee, place it there. But we're a lot warmer now, so maybe we can go a bit further. What you can do here is you can do eagle arms. Place your left hand on your right shoulder. Right arm goes across, and either you just hold opposite shoulders, or you see if you can bring the palms together, the fingers and the palms together. And you either stay here, or you could try and go for a forward fold. Really nice. I like if you went into that forward fold so consciously and not fast and not rushing it. That's really lovely to see. Last breath here. Inhale, we're coming up. Exhale, we're releasing our arms, rolling our shoulders, we're releasing our legs. And let's wiggle our legs here, releasing some of the tension. Sitting upright, bringing our feet together for a brief Baddha Konasana. And how about we do our little butterflies now, moving the knees up and down, a bit more dynamic. That's quite fun. All right. Coming to stillness, we're going to take the left foot, outside of the left foot, in the right hand, or maybe into the inside of that right elbow. And if we can do that, left knee into the inside of the left elbow and holding our hands. And you will quite likely notice that one side is it's not a lot, but not necessarily a lot, but it's more supple than the other. And that is normal. I'm just rocking your leg, your shin here. You can obviously still do the slightly gentler version. Okay, all right, that's enough. Let's bring the left foot outside the right knee and hug that knee into our body. And maybe looking over our shoulder, if that feels good. And you could, if you wanted, you could see if you can bring out the upper arm
the right upper arm outside the left knee, and see if you can hold the outside edge, the little toe edge of your right foot. You don't have to do this. This is half Lord of the Fish pose. Probably one of my favorite pose names. Very poetic. Don't have to do that at all. Okay, now we're going to come out of the twist, picking up left foot, right shin parallel in front of us, left foot on the right knee, left knee over the right foot. Again, if you still need your block, totally fine. And we're going to do eagle arms if we want on the other side, so touching our left shoulder with our right hand, crossing the arms over. You could just hold opposite shoulders like that, that's also really lovely. Or see if you can come into eagle arms where you twist again and at the forearms and bring palms together. Inhale, and if you want to come into a forward fold, nice, deliberate and slow. Again, you might notice that on this side you don't get as deep as on the other, which is totally fine. Okay, inhale, we're coming up. Exhale, releasing our arms, rolling our shoulders maybe, and legs out in front of us, and wiggling your legs. Lovely, wonderful. So, last pose now, I'm going to give you an option. So we normally finish with an inversion, which would generally be bridge. So bridge is, we're lying on our backs, feet as close as we can get them to the glutes, feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart, and we're lifting our hips. But today, if you want to take a block or a cushion and do a nice supported bridge, placing that block under the bony bit of your lower back. You could also just come into the legs into the air pose. Place your hands under your glutes and just stretch your legs into the air and lie here like that. Also quite a nice just inversion. And if you can't get your legs super straight, that's also fine. They can be a bit bent, it doesn't matter. I'm just reversing the blood flow here. And it's going to stay here for another 3 breaths. Just really slowing down, relaxing. Wherever you are, let's bring our feet to the floor. If you're in bridge and you're using a block, lift your hips up, slide the block to the side and gently come down. Hug your knees into your chest, maybe crossing forearms around the shins, or bringing your hands onto the shins and just rocking from side to side. Gentle, gentle lower back massage. If there's anything else you want to do here, like a brief twist or happy baby pose, or maybe rocking, making circles as you rock, that can be quite nice. Do what your body needs to right now. And once you're done, coming into your final relaxation, Shavasana is quite an obvious one. We're on our backs, corpse pose, lying down. You could also come into a child's pose if you prefer that. You could just sit. It's also sometimes nice. Whatever you choose to. If you're choosing Shavasana, your feet are about hip width, mat to hip width apart, feet falling out. Palms are facing the ceiling. Arms are about, 3 inches, 15 centimeters from the body. chin slightly tucked. And as we're lying here, or in whatever other relaxation pose you've chosen, let's do another body scan as we did in our beginning relaxation. Just going from the top of your head down to your toes. And as you scan through your body, notice any tension that you're still holding and letting go. Maybe also noticing where you feel different to from when we started yoga. Oh no, well not yoga, we started our physical yoga practice. So much more to yoga. Scanning down from the head, through the face, letting go of any tension in any of the little facial muscles. Neck and shoulders, chest, arms are relaxed, fingers are curling in. Relax back, maybe inhale and exhale with a sigh, just to let go of any tension you're holding in your back. And your tummy, no need to suck in your abdomen, just letting it breathe freely, move with the breath. Get into your hips, your glutes. Maybe they're feeling a bit softer after quite a few hip opening poses we did. Thighs, knees and calves and feet. And now trying to commit not to fidget, not to move, not to scratch yourself for a few moments as we lie here in our final relaxation. Very slowly come back into your body, onto your mat. Move your toes and your fingers a little bit, your wrists and your ankles. Bring your feet together. Bring your arms overhead. Inhale and stretch, full body stretch. And exhale, let go. Hug your knees into your chest. Bringing them in. Squeezing your thighs into your abdomen. Nice little massage for your internal organs. Rocking from side to side. Massage for your kidneys, your lower back. When you're on the right, dropping your knees to the right. Placing your head on the right upper arm as a pillow. Left hand in front of your chest. Inhale and exhale to push into that hand. And come gently back to seated. Sitting cross-legged for one moment. One breath, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, let's do a big circle with our arms. Bringing the hands together overhead. Exhale, pulling our hands down to heart center. Let's bring our thumbs to the space between our eyebrows, to the third eye for clear and kind thoughts. Thumbs to our throat, clear and kind words. Thumbs to our heart, clear and kind feelings for others and for ourselves. And if you wish, bow with gratitude to the practice of yoga and gratitude to yourself for moving today. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I really needed that. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I really needed to move again, so this was fantastic. Thank you.